This is Bumper to Bumper, the car show. Drive in anxious and cruise out confident. With the best automotive information for your vehicle. And now your hosts, Matt Allen and Dave Riccio.
Well, good morning, Phoenix, on this little overcast. Looks like we're going to have a monsoon day today. Welcome to Bumper Radio. I'm Matt Allen. Dave Riccio is out on, I think, a little vacation hangover today. You know, he's just decided to take his trip and take a day off to recover and come back to work refreshed on Monday. So I have got some help here from Tim Nelson and Pascal Adcock, both from Virginia Auto Service, to help bring the show along and answer any questions you may have today. And today on the Bumper to Bumper Roadmap, we are talking about monsoons, the Haboobs. Is there any way that you need to treat your car a little different, maybe before or after that? We've got the summer of love upon us. Aftermarket parts. We're going to talk about anything you want to talk about today because we're here every Saturday at 11 o'clock to do just that, help you with your car. So if you have a car question or a car problem, maybe you're contemplating a purchase or a sale, whatever it may be, please give us a call at 602-277-5827. It's 602-277 KTAR. You can also text into the show if you're a little bit shy. You shouldn't be, though, but go ahead and text us at 411-923, and we will answer your question on the air and maybe text you back. So, guys, Tim, Pascal, thanks for coming in to help out.
Good morning, Matt. How are you today?
You have to push that red button over there, Timmy, or they won't hear you.
Good morning, Matt.
No, you need to push it and turn it on so it says red. See, because you got Bree pushing it in the other room, and so now there you are.
There we are.
Tim.
Good morning, Matt.
How about me? Am I here?
You're here,
All right,
Pascal.
here I am.
So a little bit different than working at the counter at the shop, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
So, guys, we have a storm coming today. I think I saw the weather, 90% chance of rain. I have some friends down in Rocky Point who are hightailing it out of there to try and get in front of that storm because supposedly it's coming to Phoenix. I mean, this is the time. Maybe we're not going to have one today or tomorrow, but we're going to have some monsoons. We're going to have some haboobs that go along with the monsoon. And you know, we always see people with car problems around the weather. Sometimes we get them towed in because they drive through the puddle, right? I mean, how many of those did we have last year, Tim? A couple, at least?
At least probably a half a dozen.
Yeah, and you don't have to go through the puddle. Well, these people weren't in puddles. They were really through the wash. But you don't have to go through deep water to hurt your car. I mean, in the worst case, you're going to suck in water into the engine, ingest that, and cause some engine damage. But you don't have to flood the car to cause problems. I mean, you can have, most of these cars now have low hood lines. The cars are lower to the ground unless you're driving an SUV. You can have maybe a door trim rubber that's ripped a little bit and get water in.
Yeah, you could get water in an electrical part on the car.
Yeah.
Could cause some problems. You get water on your belts, they start to squeal.
Yeah, well, and that's one that I wasn't thinking of, Tim. I know there's some manufacturers. Gates, who is a belt and hose manufacturer and manufacture a lot of the belt component systems on new cars, I've seen several over the years where they have redesigned the belt routing and redesigned some of the components because the belts hydroplane when they get water on them. So that's just another example of a time when the shields and all those undercarriage parts on the car that people tear off accidentally, like pulling up to a curb, those are important. They're there for a reason.
Especially on the people that have the Volkswagen Beetles.
Oh, gosh.
That vehicle is so low to the ground. We see so many come in with that shield broken or even missing, and they're like, well, you know, but it's important to have.
Yeah, and they can be pricey to replace too. But one of the other things, maybe the technician that worked on a car once wasn't so meticulous and not as a perfectionist, and maybe he pulled back one of the rubber grommets on the firewall or something to do a test and didn't put that back. You might get some water in that way. And the other thing to remember, a lot of the electronics on these cars, we're seeing more and more of the computers are underneath the seats, so you could get water in there. Other things, the simple stuff you can do at home. Check your lights. Make sure you've got good working headlights and taillights and turn signals. You've got to have good wiper blades. We very rarely use them in Phoenix. I mean, we see a lot of our customers, Tim and Pascal, we put the wiper blades on the car. It hasn't even rained, and by the time they come in, they're no good again, or they need to be cleaned off. So, maybe squirt your window today before it rains and wash the window. And if it doesn't do a good job, you might want to consider replacing your wiper blades.
Well, yeah, and speaking of squirting the window, you got to make sure that your windshield washer fluid reservoir is full and it works and it's not leaking. Because even though you're saying it's raining, it's going to be on the windshield, but if you get that little bit of rain with dirt, and you don't have your windshield washers working properly, now you're just going to have mud going back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. You need to be able to clean off the gook. And the other thing that I like to do, my grandpa, all of our grandpas probably didn't have a lot of money. I know mine didn't. Machine worker in Wisconsin and Milwaukee. And I remember being with him one time. I said, "Gosh, Grandpa, your windshield wipers are horrible. I'm going to replace them for you." This was 15 years ago or something after I had the shop. "Oh, no, we'll clean those." I said, "What are you talking about? They're $15. We're just going to replace them." He got out his little Brillo pad thing and just wiped the blade off. Those things work perfect. So now at the shop, I'm trying to encourage the guys, and we've been doing this for a while. Before we condemn your blades, we never use them. So a lot of times you get a bug impacted on them or something. You just wipe off the blade, and sometimes they'll start working perfectly clear again. The battery is a common sense thing. You want to have that tested. The shop should be testing all the time. But when you're running in the Monsoon, you've got the lights on full blast. You've got the wipers going full blast. You've got the air conditioning. You've got more of an electrical load on the system. So you want to make sure the batteries are good.
And
Pascal?
Go ahead, Pascal.
Absolutely. Something that comes to mind for me is when you get your car washed and you see your headlight fogged up. Oh. Let's say one of your headlights is fogged up after you get a car wash. You have a leaking headlight, and
so you're talking about the condensation inside, not just the fog or the yellowing.
The condensation indicates there's a crack or a breach in that headlight. So if you get in a monsoon and you get a lot of heavy rain, that headlight could fill up with some water,
burn out your bulb,
and maybe burn out a fuse and take your other headlight out.
Yeah.
Or your taillights. It's a whole chain of events that could happen.
Anything could happen there. And I was thinking you were going to go with, the headlights yellow and they turn colors. Body shops polish those. We polish them in the shop ourselves. You can buy those kits at the auto parts store. I know Napa has them, probably O'Reilly. And you can do those and polish up your headlights. You can really tell the difference. It's not just a cosmetic thing, but it's how much light is going to get out of those lights. And when you're in a dust storm and then you add the darkness to it, it may make a difference there as to how well you're going to see. So what about Haboobs? We get stuck in a Haboob. I've been in one. About 4 years ago, we had that really bad one in Phoenix. And by the time I could get from 32nd Street and Camelback to over here by the station at Northern, you almost couldn't drive. So there's not much that a Haboob is going to do to your car mechanically. I would suggest, though, Pascal, you brought this up, making sure that you do not have your air conditioner on fresh air. Because what you'll be doing is just be sucking in all that dirt and dust and bringing that into the car. So you want to keep that on recirculate. And maybe even turn down the fan speed if you can, so you're just not taking a chance and recirculating any more dirt and contaminating your cabin air filter. The other thing that I think of is washing the car. And Pascal, ever since I've known you, you've been a madman about your car. It's always detailed. The tire's always shiny. The paint is always looking good. And I can just imagine people with dirt all over their car or mud even, and they just go start wiping. Then what happens?
Well, if you take a car that goes through a Haboob and it's covered in sand and dirt and whatnot, and you, let's say, run through the car wash, the local car wash, they may just send it through the machine and it starts spinning the soap and whatnot. It's sanding your car. It's abrasive. You should always just go to the car wash, the hand wash, pressure wash it real fast, get all that mud off there, get underneath it, get in the wheel wells, things like that, clean it off, then go have your local car wash do it for you.
Yeah, because even if they're doing a hand car wash, or maybe you're going through the big chain car wash where they do the oil changes and everything, or the local guy in your neighborhood where they do the hand wash, you're right. You want to. The sand and dirt actually sticks to the car with the way that twirls around. We were reading something earlier where it changes the electrical charge, and the dirt will actually stick to your paint. So just imagine a black car. That's the worst one. But imagine someone just goes and starts wiping that dirt around with their wash mitt. You're just sanding on the car a little bit, and it starts to make it look bad. When you're going to wash it, you don't really want to use dishwashing soap. You want to use a proper car care product, or a car soap, because that's just going to wash all the soap off the car, or wash the wax. So that's one thing to do. Like you said, get up underneath the fender wells. Maybe if you have a compressor at home, you blow out underneath the cowling or anything like,
Yes,
up around the...
spend some time with your car after a Haboob. It can take a toll on it, and you don't know it. So you just drive it through, to a car wash, and then they do their thing, and then 6 months you're like, wow, my paint's faded, or it's scratched.
All the swirls.
Swirl marks. It's horrible.
I don't think there's anything that, you'll hear some people say, after Haboob, you got to get your car in. Worst case, you're going to have a dirty air filter for the engine, maybe a dirty cabin air filter. But honestly, I don't think there's any reason to be making a special trip to the shop at all. Tim?
No,
just
next time you're in, just make sure they check those filters. And the only other thing we didn't talk about in the Haboob in the water is the tires. Make sure your tires are properly inflated, good tread.
Yeah, and I hope everybody's doing that. I mean, we don't need Haboobs and Monsoons to be really taking care of our tires. This is the time of year people are on vacation, and the last thing you want to do is have a tire problem. So when we come back, we've got open phones. You can give us a call at 602-277-5827. Participate by texting at 411-923. You're listening to Matt and Dave, the KTAR Car Guys, on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Matt and I share car repair tips weekly to help you keep your car safely on the road, and a few of them are easy to do.
Yep, you're right, Dave. And one of the easiest is to have a dependable battery that you can trust to get you started no matter what the conditions.
Interstate batteries are what we trust at Bumper to Bumper Radio. In fact, they're what we use at our own shops for our customers.
If you're like most people, your car is one of your most valuable investments. Make sure you take care of that investment with the power necessary to get you where you need to be. Interstate batteries are America's #1 replacement brand with the factory fresh guarantee, and they're easy to find at good shops everywhere.
Cars or trucks, Interstate has you covered with long life and performance in our harsh desert climates with products like Megatron Plus. It carries a 30-month free replacement and a 6-year performance guarantee.
Interstate batteries. No battery lasts longer. Check them out at interstatebatteries.com.
Hi, I'm Scott, General Manager with Whitey's Auto Repair here in South Scottsdale. We built a reputation for quality auto service and repair for over 45 years, and our customers have come to trust us for our recommendations. We value that trust, and that's why when it comes to transmissions, for the past several decades, we have been recommending Tri-City Transmission. They have yet to disappoint. I feel so strongly about it, I wouldn't go anywhere else. Why would you? Google them online today at tricitytransmission.com. Go where the pros go. Tri-City Transmission.
There's nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock for Kurt's Auto Repair. Family owned and operated and Bumper to Bumper Radio preferred. We've been taking care of Valley families and their auto care needs with a perfect Better Business record for over 27 years. Come experience the difference our ASE Master Techs can make for you and your family at Kurt's Auto Repair. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue and Bell Road, or online at mycarhurts.com. Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
This is Bumper to Bumper Radio, KTAR News on 92.3 FM.
Welcome back to Bumper Radio. I'm Matt Allen, and we are rocking out in the studio today, Bree. Thank you very much for that lead, and we're just jamming away on this Saturday. So, hey, we're back. Dave's on vacation today, so I'm Matt Allen. I've got Pascal Adcock and Tim Nelson in from Virginia Auto Service in downtown Phoenix to help answer questions and carry the show along, maybe keep me out of trouble or get me in trouble. I don't know which one, but earlier we were talking about caring for the car, the Haboobs and the Monsoons, and not just going and washing your car when it's got mud all over it. Get that, take it and pressure wash it. Even if you're not going to wash the car, before you go to the car wash, get all the mud and all the stuff off that ruins the paint. And make sure you've got good working headlights. And Pascal, you mentioned something earlier. You must be getting soft in your old age about being courteous to the driver next to you.
Be courteous. Okay, so if you've got one of these lifted monster trucks or monster Jeeps, whatever, and the little lady next to you in the Prius with her, kids and whatever, and you decide, oh, there's a huge puddle, I'm just going to blast her. Don't do that.
Yeah, maybe get the punk. Maybe save it for the punk high school kid.
Exactly. Have some respect for your fellow drivers.
Yeah, and then also be aware of the surroundings. We were talking, where you park your car. If it's in a parking lot, if it's in a lowered parking lot under a tree, because those things can get very windy, and you come out there and there's a tree on top of your car.
Yeah, I guess you could be a little proactive to maybe avoid having a problem that's beyond your control. Keep Mother Nature from hounding you. But if you have a question about your car, that's one of the main reasons we're here to help you with that. So please give us a call. It's 602-277-5827. It's 602-277-KTAR. And first on the phone today is Connie from Maricopa. She has a 2013 Nissan Altima. Connie, you're on Bumper to Bumper Radio. What can we help you with today?
Yes, my vehicle has 52,000 miles on it, and last time I took it to Nissan service station for an oil change, they recommended 4 things that they said I needed to have done. And when I went home and read the manual on them, some of these things don't appear to be required, but I wanted your opinion on whether I should have them done or not.
Sure. Give me the list of the 4 things.
Okay. The power steering fluid replaced.
Okay.
But mine, do you want them all at once?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. The fuel injector service, fuel injector service, throttle body clean, and engine decarb. That was just one.
Uh-huh.
A 4-wheel alignment, and replace brake fluid.
Okay. All of those things are items that at some point in the lifespan of your car all should be done, and that's preventative maintenance work. Now, the dealers and every other shop, just like mine, in Dave's and all the guys on Bumper to Bumper Radio, we have what's called experience, and we know these fluids in the cars go bad. We know that these things require periodic maintenance. The manufacturers come from one standpoint where they want to manufacture a car that is low in price to maintain, has a low cost of ownership. I mean, that's how they're judged a lot of times. So I'm going to tell you my opinion. Tim, pipe in anytime. I know you will. Or Pascal, and tell me what you think. But I bet we're going to be on the same page. The first thing I would say, at 52,000 miles on your 2011 Altima, you don't need any of it. That is going to be, Tim, are you with me?
Yes.
Would you agree with that? These items are going to be more along the lines of a 60,000 mile service. These are the things that are going to come up at 60,000 miles, and I want to talk about them. A power steering fluid flush. Power steering fluid does wear out over time. There is a test that we can actually do of the power steering fluid, or we like to replace it at a set mileage and maintain that interval. Just at 52,000 miles for no reason other than the car is 52,000 miles. It doesn't need it, but I would do it at a interval such as 60, and it's a good service to do. It's not going to make any difference if you don't necessarily do it, but we like to do them. We see certain cars where power steering rack and pinion units leak and other items. And on the cars that have had the power steering services and the maintenance, they tend not to have those problems. So we're doing more than just changing the fluid. We're actually putting a better fluid in. So the power steering flush can wait till 60,000. The fuel injection cleaning, the engine decarbon, and all that, the throttle body cleaning, that all goes together as one thing. Again, that's something that I would time around the 60,000 mile mark or in conjunction with the replacement of the spark plugs, unless you're having a symptom that's creating a problem and they tell you that's going to fix the problem. Again, it's good service to do. I would tie it in more to a 60,000 mile interval. 4-wheel alignment. I have seen some of the dealerships on Camelback, because I've been into them picking up parts, having my truck serviced under warranty. They have got hundreds of thousands of dollars invested in alignment measuring devices that they're not using in the shop. They're using those as a sales tool. So if your car drives straight down the road, you're on the freeway on a level road, you can let go of the steering wheel, and it's not going to change lanes in 100 yards. The car seems to drive well, and there's no wear on the tires that's indicating that you're ruining the tires, then there is no reason for a 4-wheel alignment. An alignment is going to be a symptom-based thing. Typically, Tim, when do we do an alignment?
Well, exactly. Symptom-based if you have a problem with a tire wear or you have a suspension issue or you replace your tires.
Yeah, or so
that's when you replace the tires. That's a good time to do an alignment also.
Yes, because
so
we want
different times.
Right, we want to protect our investment of our new tires.
Correct.
by doing the alignment. And the old tires are going to tell us a story. The old tires are going to tell us if there was a problem. If those things are worn perfectly even and flat all the way across, if you wanted to do an alignment, good, just to make sure it's perfect. But the tires tell the story. So a lot of times I like to have us look at the tires. If you're going to go to discount, great. Let us look at them before you're going to replace them, or have discount let you know. For example, hey, you have a problem, and I think they're usually pretty good about that. Brake fluid flush.
That's something that if the fluid tested with an extra moisture content in it, yes, it would need to be serviced. But if not, at 60,000 miles again would be about the time to do it, or when it's in conjunction with a brake service.
Yeah, and we're starting to see that more and more often. The brake fluid service. I come from the Porsche background. I mean, in 1987, when I was working at a Porsche shop in Virginia, we were flushing the brake fluid on cars every year, and I didn't understand it. I was 17 years old at the time. And a lot of people, we had to do it because for the people that participate in the Porsche Club events, they have to have fresh brake fluid. But what you'll see in all your Mercedes, BMW, a lot of the Volkswagens and Audis, they are in a 2-year interval. I've seen Hondas now. Honda recommends and requires replacing the brake fluid on a 3-year interval. What was that, Pascal? A 2013 Accord or something we saw the other day.
Yes.
It was 36,000 miles. But again, there's 2 other times when I like to do that. I like to tie it in more with
Brakes.
With a brake job. If you're going to have the front brakes or the rear brakes or have a brake repair made, I like to tie it in with that. If you're off sequence, or if the fluid, say we test the fluid and it's bad, but we know you're going to need brakes in a couple months, we'll just do the fluid flush then. The reason we want to flush the fluid is because brake fluid is hygroscopic. It's going to draw the moisture out of the air. Like on a humid day today, it's going to take that moisture into your brake fluid, and then it lowers the boiling point of the brake fluid because it gets hot. It just ruins the brake fluid. It can cause rust and contamination in ABS components in other items like that. So the brake flush is a good thing. So at the end of the day, you need all of those items at some point. I just don't think you're quite ready yet. And maybe you want to get a second opinion from one of the shops you can find at bumpertobumperradio.com. You're listening to Matt and Dave, the KTAR Car Guys. We'll be back after this break.
Ready to improve your game? Hi, I'm Greg McLean.
And I'm Brandon Harris. We created Premier Fitness Systems, a completely unique training and golf performance center in Scottsdale with a focus on strength, flexibility, posture, alignment, and body position.
Having achieved great success with professional golfers and teaching pros, we're now offering you a challenge to improve your game with a free TPI golf screening and 2 golf performance training sessions. For our offer and testimonials, go to premierfitnesssystems.com.
Improve your game, improve your life. Premier Fitness Systems.
Groovy music, Matt.
Hey, man, it's perfect for our Summer of Love promotion at Bumper to Bumper Radio, Dave.
Hey, can you dig it? We're going to share the love to help you and your car make it through another sizzling summer with the best service, products, and advice at our Bumper to Bumper Radio approved shops.
And we're going to pass that love to Phoenix Children's Hospital. Just donate $1 when you're in for service, and we'll match it for the kids.
For the Summer of Love, go to bumpertobumperradio.com today.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20+ years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
2 great golf courses, 1 convenient location. Camelback Golf Club invites you to come enjoy both this summer with a special offer. When you play the world-renowned Herds and Fry design Ambiente course, with desert landscaping and native grasses, you'll receive a bounce back for the Valley favorite Padre course with its lush, shaded fairways and immaculate greens for a special member guest rate of just $29. For information or tee times, call 480-596-7050 or visit camelbackgolf.com.
Ouch! Being out of tune is no fun, and maybe even a little painful. Hi, this is Lee Weatherby, owner of Accurate Automotive in Mesa. At Accurate, we are a family-owned and operated one-stop automotive repair shop that specializes in building long-term relationships that are in tune with your needs, not ours. We've been recognized nationally as one of the top shops in the country, but for over 20 years, our priority has stayed focused on providing quality automotive service and repair at a fair price. I invite you to come in and see the difference an in-tune relationship can make for you and your car. With our free courtesy inspection, a $49 value, we feel it is well worth our investment in you because we believe good long-term relationships start early with your first walk through our doors. Accurate Automotive, home of friends serving friends, just off Broadway and Robson in Mesa since 1992. For more information, check us out online at accurateautomotiveaz.com today.
Can you trust here in the Valley to repair your ride? This is Bumper to Bumper Radio, KTAR News on 92.3 FM.
Well, oh, that doesn't sound right. Welcome back. I had my headphones turned down, so I'm not even hearing myself. Hey, you know what? I'm not, a little out of my element. I'm Matt Allen, your KTAR car guy, and Dave Riccio is off today. So I'm a little out of our element. We have our zing and zen or whatever the heck that stuff is. I don't know. It's not happening today. Bree's in there laughing at me. I'm just yapping here, so whatever. But we're always here to help you take care of your car every Saturday from 11 to noon, Bumper to Bumper Radio. We've got a few calls, Florin, Leonard, Hector, and Blake, but we do have some room. If you want to give us a call, you can do that at 602-277-5827. And one of the things that we do at Bumper to Bumper Radio, besides fix cars, is all of these shops are members of your community. They are people that you see at your kids' soccer games. Maybe you see them at church, the grocery store, T-ball, you name it. These are privately owned, I say mom and pop shops for the most part, family owned, which I think is sometimes overused, but this is what we are at Bumper to Bumper Radio. And we are launching, in conjunction with the station here, our Summer of Love promotion to benefit Phoenix Children's Hospital. So for the next 8 weeks leading up into the Radiothon that KTAR sponsors every year at Phoenix Children's Hospital, when you visit a Bumper to Bumper Radio shop, you can make a donation. If you want to donate $1, donate $1. $5, go for it. 50 cents. It doesn't matter because the shops at Bumper to Bumper Radio are going to match that. And over the years, we have given from day one at Bumper to Bumper Radio in 2011, and it will continue through this year. But our first year, the group of shops at Bumper to Bumper Radio put together, without donations from our customers and outside support, just reaching our own pockets, over $10,000. In 2011, 2012, it grew up over $11,000, $13,000 I think we were up to. And it's all to benefit Phoenix Children's Hospital. So if you need to get a car fixed and you don't have a shop that you normally use, try one of the Bumper to Bumper Radio shops. You can find them at bumpertobumperradio.com and try us out. Give a donation to Phoenix Children's Hospital. Maybe you don't need a car repair. Stop in anyway. You could buy a little balloon. We stick it up on the wall. We'll match your dollar. If you have a good repair shop, stay there. You don't need to go to the ones at Bumper to Bumper Radio. You need to stick with your shop that you're comfortable having a relationship. That's one of the most important things in car repairs, not being an orphan. Just stay where you are and get with somebody you can trust, and your car repairs will be happy forever. I hope. It's a big promise, but I think it will.
I always say, think of your car, like your doctor. You don't switch doctors every time you have a problem.
Yeah.
You don't. You want it to just the same mentality with your car.
Yeah.
Find a shop, stick with it. Be comfortable.
Yeah. And if you don't have one, check bumpertobumperradio.com. Ask your friends, ask your neighbors, ask your coworkers, and they can give you a good idea. So first up, we have Florin. And Florin, I apologize. You've been waiting for a long time. You have your Camry, or you're looking to buy a newer Camry. What can we help you with on that decision today?
Hey, guys. So thanks for taking my call. Much appreciated. I just have a few questions. I'm actually in the market of purchasing another vehicle for my family, pre-owned, and I'm looking at buying a Toyota Camry 2012, between 2012 and 2014. What do you guys really think about those vehicles? I know the resale value is great, but what do you truly think about them? Have you seen any issues with recalls or any electrical issues with them. I just test drove one this morning, and it seemed okay. It was a little bit noisy. Maybe just this one was like that, but I like the way they look. What do you truly think about these Camrys? I'm actually looking at the SE model.
Well, I particularly like them. I have a Toyota, but I'm not a Toyota guy. I had a Chevy before my Toyota. I have a Ford. I have a BMW. So I don't really care what the nameplate is necessarily. I'm going to buy the car that performs well and works well for my needs. I personally happen to like the Camry. I rented a Camry 2 or 3 years ago. I loved the car. It was a great car. Common problems. I mean, I think you can get on a blog and find just about any problem with a car you want to. Somebody at some point has had a problem and they may talk about it, but for the most part, I like the car. Go find one you like. The one bit of advice that I try to give people, besides doing the things like getting the car checked out, make sure it hasn't been crashed and make sure that it's been serviced and is a good fundamental car, make sure that your family fits in the car. I made that mistake. I bought a car, and then all of a sudden the car seats don't fit right, and it's a big pain in the backside. So give them your driver's license or your deposit and say, you know what, salesman, you're not going with us. We're putting the kids in. My wife and I, we're going to go for a drive. We're going to go on the freeway for 30 minutes. Go drive in the conditions. Go to the grocery store. Get in and out. Go to, do what you do. Pascal, what are your thoughts?
I have a recommendation on when buying a car. Call Enterprise or Hertz. See if they have that model there. Rent it for a day and drive it like you would. Go to the movies. Go to the grocery store. Use it as your car. And see if you love it. I did that with a car, and I'm glad I did. I didn't buy the car because I didn't fit in it. It wasn't what I wanted, and I had it for 24 hours, and it was the best $40 I ever spent.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Get it. I mean, get your car seats, strap them in. I know it's a pain in the butt to take them out of your car. Believe me, I have 3 of them. You get them out and put them in the new car. Make sure they fit. Drive all the way around the 101. Go home. Throw a suitcase in the back. Maybe go make sure your golf clubs fit. But Florin, I think you're on the right path with a Camry. Maybe you want to go look at that and say, okay, here's what a Camry costs. What else can I get for that same money? Maybe you want to look at an Accord. But either way, you're doing the right thing. You're getting out test driving the cars. But I happen to like the Camry, so if you do that, that's probably a great decision. So thank you for the call. We are going to get Leonard in Black Canyon City. He looks like he's got something going on worried about a volcano in Phoenix maybe or something.
Close. You're talking about the Haboobs. Well, when I was younger, my grandfather told me about this 24/7 day a week. The Mount St. Helens, when it erupted, is like a Haboob for a week long.
Sure,
And it pretty much shut down all transportation in the city there.
Well, and yeah, they'll do that with the ash and all the garbage in the air. I mean, Pascal, you're an aviation nut, right? I mean, you're an enthusiast. You like planes.
Yes.
I mean, you can't even fly. Where was it a couple years ago? Some volcano over in Europe. It had all the airspace shut down.
I believe it was Iceland or something like that. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, so whether you're flying or driving a car, I know some of the forest fires over there in San Bernardino County a couple years. I have a friend that has a shop over there, and they had cars being towed in where the air filters were just absolutely plugged up with ash or whatever it was. Soot. I don't know, but yeah, there's.
Yeah, but the Haboob dust isn't going to be as severe as the ash.
Well, yeah, it's going to be not as sustained as long, probably not as bad, and hopefully we get some rain to wet down this desert floor and not have those problems. So Leonard, that's you're right, but you know what? Arizona is pretty much natural disaster proof, so I don't think we'll be worrying about any of that kind of stuff. We're going to try and squeeze in Hector. Has got a 1996 Thunderbird. Hector. Hector, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what can we do for you in your Thunderbird today?
Well, I have an oil pressure problem. I put a new oil pump, and that didn't solve the problem. I put that piston and that little spring that goes inside the timing cover in that. And what happens with that oil pressure, it runs for a while. After about maybe 15, 20 miles, when the oil runs up, the oil pressure drops. And I'm not getting oil to my main bearings on my crank and whatnot, and I don't want to mess the engine up, so I'm kind of stuck in that area.
You know, I am not familiar on the internal workings of that particular engine in the Thunderbird, but I mean, when you changed out the oil pump, do you have the same exact symptoms and problems that you had with the old pump?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess, I mean, what creates oil pressure is, one, the volume of the pump pumping, and then two, the tight clearances in the bearings. So if the bearings are worn out, it's going to be a wider gap, and the pressure coming through the journals to lubricate those bearings is not going to be pressurized as much because it's escaping, basically. So you could just simply have a worn out engine. I mean, they can be worn out without making rod knocks and having problems. You could have a piece of debris or something restricting one of the oil galleys. It's possible. I mean, that's hard for me to tell without looking at that. There's so many different things it could be. I'm not sure if that has you said you replaced the spring for the pressure relief valve, so that's really hard to tell. That's something we're probably going to need to get somebody in the shop, do a mechanical test, find out exactly what the real oil pressure is, and that might even require a little bit of open heart surgery, so to speak. Get in there and maybe take a bearing cap off and see what's going on with the bearing. So thanks for the call, Hector. One tech tip we want to give you coming into the monsoons, something that you can do in your car to maybe avoid a little bit of a problem, and that is on a humid day. You should see with the air conditioning running. Here's what we want you to do. Close up the windows, have the car in recirculated air, or even on fresh air, actually. It'd be better on fresh air. And that way you're sucking in that humid air. And what's the job of the air conditioner? To cool the air and take the moisture out of the air. So when the air conditioner removes that moisture, it should be dripping out of the bottom of the car. So our little tech tip today, instead of fact or fiction, is get on a humid day, turn your air conditioner on, get it on fresh air, and wait a couple minutes. You should see a fairly steady stream of clear water dripping out from underneath probably the right side, about where the passenger footwell is on the car.
And today's a humid day, too.
Yeah, and it's
today's
humid.
a good day.
Yeah, I mean, Pascal, you said your Jeep is just flowing out like crazy. I mean, how much is the right amount? It should just be clear water. If you don't see that, I bet you might already have a mildewy smell in your car. And if you do, shops can clean that out. And it's a matter of cleaning the drain. It's normal to have that water out. It should be there. And if you don't, get it cleaned out to avoid a potential problem. And we'll be right back. We've got open lines at 602-277-5827. You're listening to Matt Allen, your KTAR car guy.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20+ years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
Matt and I share car repair tips weekly to help you keep your car safely on the road, and a few of them are easy to do.
Yep, you're right, Dave. And one of the easiest is to have a dependable battery that you can trust to get you started no matter what the conditions.
Interstate batteries are what we trust at Bumper to Bumper Radio. In fact, they're what we use at our own shops for our customers.
If you're like most people, your car is one of your most valuable investments. Make sure you take care of that investment with the power necessary to get you where you need to be. Interstate batteries are America's #1 replacement brand with the factory fresh guarantee, and they're easy to find at good shops everywhere.
Cars or trucks, Interstate has you covered with long life and performance in our harsh desert climates with products like Megatron Plus. It carries a 30-month free replacement and a 6-year performance guarantee.
Interstate batteries. No battery lasts longer. Check them out at interstatebatteries.com.
There's nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock for Kurt's Auto Repair. Family owned and operated and Bumper to Bumper Radio preferred. We've been taking care of Valley families and their auto care needs with a perfect Better Business record for over 27 years. Come experience the difference our ASE Master Techs can make for you and your family at Kurt's Auto Repair. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue and Bell Road, or online at mycarhurts.com. Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car car hurts? Take it to Kurt's.
KTAR News on 92.3 FM.
Welcome back to Bumper Radio. Are we going, Bree? I didn't hear you. Okay, we're going. We have some technical. I'm not paying attention today.
We're back in the summer of love.
Oh, yeah, we've been distracted. Did we get into that bottle already? Is that what's going on? Well, you're listening to Bumper Radio. I'm Matt Allen. I've got Tim Nelson and Pascal Adcock helping fill in for Dave Riccio. I guess they're not doing a very good job keeping us in order. You know, Dave and I got our mojo and our flow going, so when one of us is out, it gets a little goofy in here sometimes. So we are answering questions about your car every Saturday at 11 to noon. And up first this segment, we are going to go with James in Mesa. He's got a 1997 Nissan pickup. What can we help you with, James?
Hi, I have a 97 Nissan pickup truck that I've had repeated problems with the brake booster. It's a 5-cylinder 4-speed. It's got approximately 201,000 miles on it. I've owned it since it was about 2 years old. But most recently, in the past couple of years, the past 3 years, I've had to replace the brake booster twice. Mind you, they were done with rebuilt parts versus new because of the cost. But I'm wondering what might be causing these brake boosters to fail when the original one lasted like 17 years.
Well, it would be the quality of the brake booster, probably. I mean, you could have a master cylinder problem with the master cylinder leaking back into the booster, but
right.
But I doubt that. I mean, you said it really. You said I went with the aftermarket one because it was cheaper. Well, most of the time when something is cheaper, it's because it's not as good. So that rebuilt one, I mean, it's still, you take your Nissan, take your brand new brake booster, okay? Put it in the car, use it up over 10 years or whatever, and it goes bad, then you go buy a rebuilt one. You got somebody else's old Nissan one, and that's okay. But it was rebuilt using parts that were probably not of the same quality when the thing was made brand new. Really, what's in there is a big giant rubber diaphragm and some springs and a couple of check valves. So probably what you're having is that the rubber is wearing out. It's just not as good of a quality. So really all you can do, I mean, some of those have a lifetime warranty, but the lifetime warranty, who cares if you have to keep doing the job over? Maybe you might want to spend a little bit of extra money, get a new one, or maybe switch to a different brand of remanufacturer. Although, Tim, don't you think they're probably all the same, really?
Well, yeah, and unfortunately on a 97, it's probably not available new anymore. I'm just going off that. So we have changing brands possibly, but there's only a few different manufacturers in the aftermarket that does rebuild
remanufacturers.
Yes.
Yeah. And the bottom line is they're all rebuilding what was a brand new Nissan one at one time. It's just the components that are going into it just aren't as good. So really that's all you can do is shop for a better one. Maybe you can get an OE one or maybe just a different brand of rebuild. So thanks for the call, James. Liz on a 2009 Camry. Liz, what can we do for you today?
Yes, my Camry. They told me it wasn't the brakes. I have new tires, and every time when I'm going to brake really hard, my wheel kind of shakes a little bit.
Okay, so would it be fair to say you're cruising along? Maybe you're on the freeway, maybe you're on a surface street going 45 to 50 miles an hour, and you lightly apply the brakes, maybe to slow down or something. Do you get a shake back and forth on the steering wheel? Is that what you?
No, it's mostly when I'm going kind of fast and I have to brake hard.
And you have to brake hard. So you're like a panic stop, or you're just really putting the binders on and slowing down a little bit more?
Kind of maybe panic.
Okay. Well, if you're doing a lot of panic stopping, there might be another problem. But it's hard to say. If it's under a braking condition, you would likely think it's the brakes. The reason I went with a little bit of shake when you're going 45 miles an hour and say you're getting off the freeway, maybe going to the exit ramp, that is when, if the brake rotors are warped a little bit, you put a light application of the brakes, that's going to transfer into the steering wheel. Picture an old record player with the needle, with a warped record. The needle's just bouncing. Well, if you clamp that down, it's going to cause that to shake. That could be the problem, but that's not what you're describing. I doubt it's the tires. Tim, control arm bushings,
yeah, I was
maybe?
going to say, if it could be suspension. That's what I'd be looking at next. Control arm bushings, common issue with that car. So if they're worn, cracked, or broken, That could definitely be the cause. So if someone needs to, wherever shop that's told you that it wasn't the brakes and the tires, you might bring it back in there and ask them to give you a suspension inspection.
Or take it to somewhere else, because if someone just says, well, it's not the brakes and it's not the tires, they haven't offered you any solution. So maybe you're not taking it to a shop. Maybe it's just a friend that's looking at it. I'm not really sure, but you need to get in and have a thorough examination done of the symptom. Maybe have somebody drive with you if they're willing to get in the car with you for one of those panic stop situations, and see if you can duplicate that. I mean, a control arm bushing seems to make sense when that bushing is missing. The bushing holds the suspension in place, the rubber bushing. If that breaks or cracks and allows movement in there, we've now changed the geometry of the front suspension, how that car is going to handle and drive. It might make it pull or veer one direction. You might get a knocking noise as a symptom, or this shake. But it's going to be one for sure that needs to be looked at. So I'm going to answer a text here. We've got love the show, 2000 Mitsubishi Eclipse. The car runs great, but overheats only when I turn the AC on. The fans do work, and I replaced the thermostat. What else should I look for? Seems to me to be a pretty classic case of probably a plugged up radiator.
Yep, radiator.
It sounds like it's plugged. Now, I mean, if you're going down the highway, you have lots of air flowing over the radiator, and the car runs cool and is doing well, that's what it's supposed to do. But if you're going down the highway and you've got plenty of air and the car's still overheating, you've probably got a restricted radiator. What he means when he says the fans work, whenever you turn on the air conditioner, there's two cooling fans typically on the car. That electric radiator fan should come on, both of them, and that's going to cool. So it sounds like those are working. The car runs otherwise great without the air conditioner on, just going down the road. I'd be leaning towards a restricted radiator.
Did he say how many miles are on it?
Let's see here. Does not say. So we're going to go with another text. 1998 Ford Ranger, 160,000 miles, warped head gasket leak. Just replaced front end suspension. Looking for a car. Is this one worth it for my 16-year-old? I think that those Ford Rangers are good trucks.
Oh, yeah.
We had one in the shop the other day, the cousin of it, a Mazda. The one thing on, I think, that 3-liter engine, or maybe it's a 3.8-liter, I believe that's one that has a propensity to crack cylinder heads or have head gasket leaks. Yeah, so they have those. So we're going to grab one more call. Blake in Deer Valley on a 2006 Scion. Blake, what can we help you with today?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on. So I have a 2006 Scion. It's about 130,000 miles. A few things going on, but first thing is when it's running the belt. I've been having a recurring issue with the belt for about the last year, and it's typically when the AC is running. My mechanic's been great. He's switched it out with OEM, with aftermarket. He's messed with the tensioner, but we're still having issues with it squealing. So just wondering, maybe you guys have heard or know of anything else that I can do to fix that. In addition to that, we also replaced the alternator and the compressor for the air conditioning, and I think it might have been replacing those was a result of an issue with the belt.
Okay, Tim, I mean, you and Pascal are on the front lines every day. I mean, we have a Scion like this. I don't think we've had belt problems at our shop.
He said he messed with the tensioner. I don't know if that means replaced it or not, because that's typically it sounds like a tensioner possibly problem.
Yeah, Blake.
Yeah,
Blake, go back to go look on a website. Go to Gates.com or Gates Manufacturing. They are a manufacturer of automotive belts and hoses and those component systems, and they have some pretty good videos on their website about how to determine if you have a hydroplaning belt or a belt tension issue versus you have a belt alignment issue. And it's a pretty simple test that the do-it-yourselfer can do with all you need is a little bit of water. You need a squirt bottle or some way to put some water on the belts and do it with the engine running. Be careful with your fingers there under the hood, but it's Gates Manufacturing or Gates Belt. So thanks for tuning in to Bumper Radio. We'll see you next weekend.
Hi, I'm Scott, General Manager with Whitey's Auto Repair here in South Scottsdale. We built a reputation for quality auto service and repair for over 45 years, and our customers have come to trust us for our recommendations. We value that trust, and that's why when it comes to transmissions, for the past several decades, we have been recommending Tri-City Transmission. They have yet to disappoint. I feel so strongly about it, I wouldn't go anywhere else. Why would you? Google them online today at tricitytransmission.com. Go where the pros go. Tri-City Transmission.
Round up the kids and grab your clubs. Family Sunday Fun Day is back at Wigwam Golf. That's right. Every Sunday after 3 p.m., kids can play one round for free with the purchase of an adult round at only $25. The entire family can enjoy a game without the worry of pace of play. Book your next round by calling the Golf Shop at 623-935-9414 or visit wigwamgolf.com today.
It sounds like they've just had the accurate automotive experience. We're family owned and operated and have served the Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert communities for over 22 years. We focus on building long-lasting relationships and, oh yeah, listening to you so that we can understand, meet, and exceed your expectations. One location, 14 bays, 88 years of automotive expertise, and a passionate commitment to customer service and excellence. My name is Lee Weatherby, and I approve this message because it's true. We love what we do, and we want to do it for you. Accurate Automotive, the home of friends serving friends.
Groovy music, Matt.
Hey, man, it's perfect for our Summer of Love promotion at Bumper to Bumper Radio, Dave.
Hey, can you dig it? We're going to share the love to help you and your car make it through another sizzling summer with the best service, products, and advice at our Bumper to Bumper Radio approved shops.
And we're going to pass that love to Phoenix Children's Hospital. Just donate $1 when you're in for service, and we'll match